the other thing I agree with you. And the other thing I also want to remind people is that this tradition of social change and the tradition of Black civil rights in America has profound and deep blood in its well. Like it's not a clean, pretty place to drink from. And when you sign up for this shit, you came to play one of the hardest games for the longest times that's been played in this country. It's not some light work. It's not something that should be easy. It's something that should terrify you and likely overwhelm you and cause you a deep sense of discomfort. And there's no comfortable way to this solution, and because the problem is so uncomfortable. And the death of innocent people, to the way that people are deprived of equal opportunity, has caused people to be assassinated, lynched, murdered, right? I remember being a boy and hearing the story of what town was that in Texas, where they took that black man and tied him up to the back of the truck and drove him city blocks. I was in my lifetime. I'm fucking 34, dog. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they felt like doing. And what we're trying to usurp is the height of evil, dog. It's the height of darkness. It's the height of the worst of humanity. And playing this game is playing the highest game. It is the highest order. If you have an interest in being a person who is a beneficial, loving, contributing member of the human planet, this is the game to play. The same way it's the game to play for orphans, or the way it's the game to play for people in great suffering with terrible diseases, or the way it's the game to play for poor people, disenfranchised people, right? The marginalized will always be the highest game. That's why our most revered human souls in our history played that game.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why those people are eternal and canonized, have city streets named after them, have national holidays, etc., and why we always loop back to these figures. I can't think of anything I would rather be attached to in my life than that particular tradition. To know that I don't have to get the spotlight. It doesn't fucking matter if it works out in some glorious way. But I will say, much like Shakespeare says in Henry V, that if I be covetous, it be only for glory and honor. That idea that, like, those are the things that I know that when I die will die well with me. And James Baldwin says it famously. He goes, I don't know how much more time you want. It took my mother's time and my father's time and my uncle's time and my sister and my brother's time. How much time do you want for this progress? So recognizing that you're in something that has been a train moving for a very long time and had seasons where it has stopped and seasons where it has barreled and flown and seasons where it has again slowed dramatically. The important thing to understand is, much like how King says the arc of the universe bends towards justice, right? We hope that. That's an aspirational thing. That's a thing that only exists because we will ultimately choose within ourselves to manifest that reality, right? And I personally know that it can be done only because when I hear Martin say that he'd been to the mountaintop, I knew he wasn't lying. I knew that he didn't think it was a 50-50 shot if we could make it. I knew that he was certain we could fucking make it if we were willing to do what we had to do, if we were willing to see the value and beauty in our other people that didn't look like everyone or wasn't the dominant culture, that Black people, if they could fold in, then everybody could fold in, because this was the group. This still is the group. So I hope that as people hear this and they watch this, they understand that it means a great deal to all of us people of color that white people show up and understand that I love my kids the way you love your kids. I so deeply hope for them a future that is different than my own, different than my father's, different than my grandmother's. And while there is so much tremendous pain, I also know the deep beauty of that lives in humanity. And I want to at least touch on that so that people understand that while there is anger, and that is in there, that is only half the truth. The other truth is there is such a heart in mankind to do something so tremendously life-giving and so reconciliatory and so humble and lovely as to pay attention right now and to show up for the people in your life that are undergoing this in real, tangible ways. And if we do this, and if you show up and if you give what you have to give and you really play the game, we might for once be a fucking nation of people that were together. I've never known that nation, that ideal of what America could be. I don't think anyone, any generation prior has. I hope it dies with us. I hope that I die an old man knowing that the work is done. And I hope that my son or his children wake up confused as to what that even was. And if that seems compelling to you, then I hope you will share this video. I hope that you will do what you can in your own place and space and time. And I hope you'll know that we are so grateful to have you on the team and to simply never fucking quit and just keep moving. And to bite that clean line, right? For all of us, we'll be in a space of if you can run, then run. If you can walk, then just walk. And if you can only crawl, then crawl, but keep moving forward. And that's what I'm committed to. I know that's what you're committed to. And I hope anyone who's watching this feels committed to that very same thing.